Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal Part 363 based on novel. So let's start. Nemesis. He is my nemesis. Even my treasures are all countered. Greed screamed as he quickly retreated. Seeing Wang Lin close in on him, he mercilessly threw the jade bottle in another direction. He had done this before. After he arrived in the ancient star system, every time he thought about what happened, his heart ached like crazy. He vowed in his life to never throw away a treasure to distract someone while escaping. In his view, having his treasure taken was worse than him being killed. For example, the ancient god furnace and the ancient thunder dragon. If he knew that the furnace had saved Wang Lin many times, if he knew that it was the ancient thunder dragon that had allowed Wang Lin to become a thunder cultivator, become famous across all heaven, and give birth to the thunder essence. If he knew all of this, he would definitely cough out blood and almost die from the heartache. This old man has had great opportunities, and is favored by heaven itself. Graced by the heavens when I was 8, I dug up a 500-year-old yellow essence and devoured it. At the age of 13, I fell off a cliff and landed next to a 500-year-old vermilion fruit. At the age of 18, when I reached the foundation establishment stage, I obtained the ancient thunder dragon. At the core formation stage, when fighting a powerful enemy I was no match for, a giant furnace fell from the sky and smashed the enemy to death. After that, my path had always been smooth. The mountain and river painting, the mountain soul, the soul needle, and such were all obtained one by one without trouble. Only time, my path wasn't smooth, which was when I pursued the heaven-defying bead. Then I met this nemesis that took away all my treasures and everything I had spent so much effort gathering. However, I was still lucky and didn't die. Instead, I got even more treasures while adventuring and became strong. However, this damned Wang Lin didn't let me go and came to the ancient star system. As Greed recalled his life, his face was filled with grief and indignation. He was still retreating. Wang Lin revealed a smile that wasn't a smile and stepped forward. When he saw Greed throw the bottle in the other direction, he stopped his pursuit. Instead, he charged at the bottle. When Greed saw Wang Lin change directions, he waved his hand. A large flag appeared in his hand. This flag was golden, and the golden light lit up the void. There was a strange beast embroidered on this flag. It had the body of a dragon but no claws. Instead, it had many pairs of wings, with half its body in the clouds as if it were flying. After taking out this flag, Greed mercilessly waved and a thunderous roar came out from inside the flag. The beast seemed to become alive. It immediately flew out from the flag and wrapped around Greed. They turned into a dark cloud and flew away even faster than before. Wang Lin ignored Greed and quickly caught up to the jade bottle. He waved his sleeve and put the bottle away. He laughed as he turned around and chased after Greed using spatial bending. This Greed is my lucky star. Wang Lin laughed as he disappeared. Greed's body was wrapped by the clouds and was surrounded by that strange beast. The beast had almost 100 pairs of wings, and every time they moved, its speed would increase greatly. They escaped at a speed too fast for the naked eye to follow. Ripples followed after them. The ripples were like the waves of the sea. Inside the ripples, Wang Lin's figure was chasing after them, moving faster and faster. However, Greed's speed had reached its limit, allowing him to maintain a certain distance from Wang Lin. Even thought Wang Lin's thunder essence was complete, even with the power of thunder, Wang Lin wouldn't be able to catch up in a short period of time. However, Wang Lin was in no rush. To be able to meet someone from home was a joyous thing. At this moment, Wang Lin was very happy. Meeting Greed had made him happy and surprised. In particular, Wang Lin had already seen that all of Greed's treasures were related to the 3 ancient order clans, and he had identified where Greed had obtained those treasures. For others, that place might not be useful, but to Wang Lin, it was an unimaginably good fortune. As for Greed, who had given Wang Lin this great fortune, the more Wang Lin looked at him, the more pleasing Greed looked. A ghost is haunting me. A ghost is haunting me. Greed felt pain from his chest as if needles were constantly stabbing him. The source of this pain was personally seeing treasures being stolen from him. He stole the starling swords, the protection bone tablets, the emperor furnace, the fog devil lance, and didn't even let go of the ancient wood spirit. Even the ancient stop leaf and the devil soul bottle were taken by force. Half of my treasures have become his, and that damn Wang Lin still won't let me go. He won't rest until he has taken all my treasures. The more Greed thought about this, the more sad and indignant he felt. As anger rushed into his heart, he clenched his teeth and decided not to run. He turned around and viciously started at Wang Lin. This old man isn't going to run anymore. I am going to go all out and fight you. Greed's eyes were red. He was a vicious person who had killed many. If not for the fact that he was terrified of Wang Lin, as well as the crack in his Dao heart that made Wang Lin his nightmare, he wouldn't have fled without fighting. And he wouldn't have been in such a sorry state. Now that he was forced by Wang Lin, he had forgotten the nightmare for an instant. His hands formed a seal and a giant spatial rift appeared in the void. Demonic wolf, descend and punish the heavens. As Greed roared this, his clothes fluttered and his hair moved without any wind. Monstrous demonic energy came from the rift before him. Wang Lin was extremely familiar with this demonic aura. It was the aura of an ancient demon. Demonic energy charged out from the spatial rift along with a red mist. The red mist quickly entered Greed's body through his orifices. Bursts of painful cries came from Greed's mouth. The veins in his body swelled up and his face was twisted due to the pain. The clothes on his body shattered, revealing a dark-colored suit of armor. The space behind him seemed to twist and a 100,000-foot shadow slowly appeared behind him. This shadow was a wolf, a demonic wolf. The moment the demonic wolf appeared, the demonic energy in the area increased. A vortex appeared with Greed as the center and swept the surrounding area. Everything within 50,000 kilometers became part of the vortex, and a thunderous rumble came from inside it. The demonic wolf at the center of the vortex gave off a red glow. Its eyes were almost purple, and it let out a howl. Its howl was heaven-shaking, enough to cause the heart of any creature that heard it to tremble. A sense of fear would arise from their soul. Ancient demon. Wang Lin's expression became serious as the demonic energy forced him out from being merged with the world. The moment he appeared, the demonic wolf let out a howl and stared at Wang Lin before suddenly charging forward. From Wang Lin's point of view, it was like a demonic meteor smashing toward him. The vortex shrank, which made it look as if the demonic wolf had become an bottomless pit. As the demonic energy within 50,000 kilometers condensed toward the vortex, a powerful suction force was created. It was very difficult for anyone to retreat from this suction force. All of this happened too fast. In the blink of an eye, the demonic world closed in and attempted to devour Wang Lin. You stole my treasures back then, damn it. Now you came to steal from me again, damn it. I have never been humiliated like this in my life. You deserve to die. 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 Greed's voice was almost insane. Wang Lin's expression was calm and he let out a cold snort. As the giant demonic wolf closed in, popping sounds came from his body. His body expanded to more than 10,000 feet tall and he became an 6-star ancient god. The ancient god stars rapidly rotated between his eyebrows as he took a step back and raised his right hand. He let out a roar and monstrous bloodlight appeared. From afar, it was as if Wang Lin was holding endless bloodlight. The bloodlight was dazzling and turned into a 1,000-foot ancient bloodsword in Wang Lin's hand. Holding the bloodsword, when the demonic wolf was less than 100 feet away, Wang Lin's right hand chopped down. The 1,000-foot bloodsword suddenly descended and the bloodlight extended 10,000 feet. From afar, it didn't look like Wang Lin was using a sword, but a blood whip. It collided with the demonic wolf. A thunderous rumble echoed when the blood-red light landed on the demonic wolf's head. The wolf let out a mournful cry as it had left a large crack on its head. The bloodlight quickly broke all obstacles, causing the crack to extend deeper, and, finally, it penetrated the demonic wolf's body. One strike had split the demonic wolf in half. The body of the demonic wolf that was split in half fell past Wang Lin's body and dissipated among the stars. Only its reluctant roars echoed in this world. Wang Lin's expression remained neutral as he looked down at Greed. Fear filled Greed's eyes and he retreated while letting out a scream. He waved his right hand and took out his most powerful treasure without hesitation. It was a broken wood carving. However, just as the wood carving appeared, Wang Lin's calm voice echoed across the stars. Stop. Greed's body suddenly stopped and he could not move an inch. The fear in his eyes increased greatly. Don't be afraid. Answer a few of my questions and I won't kill you. I actually forgot he could use this extremely domineering stop spell. A huge wave was set off in Greed's heart and fear filled his eyes. This nemesis is too despicable. He had this spell, but didn't use it before and waited until I took out my most powerful treasure to extinguish my last hope. Greed's body and Origin's soul were completely frozen. He was unable to move an inch and could only watch as Wang Lin closed in. The broken statue gave off no aura and silently floated on Greed's right side. Wang Lin's body gradually shrank as he moved forward. When he arrived before Greed, he had already turned to the size of a normal person. He didn't pay attention to Greed but grabbed the broken statue. After seeing Wang Lin taking his most powerful treasure, Greed felt as if a sword had pierced his heart. Once, twice, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of times, the sword pierced his heart, causing Greed intense pain until blood flew down from the corner of his mouth. It's just a treasure. I believe Senior Greed won't be stingy. Back then, Senior gave me a lot of treasures, and now that we meet again, I'll gladly accept these. Wang Lin smiled as he carefully looked at the broken statue. Wang Lin's expression changed as he looked at the statue. This statue looked very ordinary and there were many damaged parts. It was a carving of a person, but they had a strange appearance. This person looked like a middle-aged man wearing a cloud pattern robe. He had a plain appearance but gave off a sense of majesty. The sense of majesty wasn't strong and didn't terrify you, but when Wang Lin's gaze made contact with the statue's gaze, his entire body trembled. His body trembled. The space before Wang Lin disappeared and everything was torn apart. An indescribable force rushed out from the statue's eyes and entered Wang Lin's mind. The world rumbled in Wang Lin's ears and even space itself was torn apart. The entire world collapsed into the void and Wang Lin, impacted by the blow, was lost in this confusion. After an unknown amount of time, 10 years, 100 years, 1,000 years, 10,000 years. Until one day Wang Lin saw a continent in the void. This continent was boundless. Wang Lin was enlightened. He felt that this continent's size far exceeded the entire ancient star system. Even adding the inner and outer realms together, they wouldn't be even cover 110,000 of the continent. Everything he saw in his mind dissipated and turned into nothingness. Wang Lin's body trembled and he awakened. Space was still that space, the world was still the same world. Greed's eyes were filled with fear and he couldn't move due to the stop spell. Wang Lin silently pondered. It didn't matter how many years he had spent in that mysterious state, because after he awakened, Wang Lin realized that it was only an instant. If there was really a time, then it would be the moment his gaze met the gaze of the statue. Was it an illusion? Wang Lin revealed a complicated expression. He didn't understand, but what he saw just now was deeply imprinted in his heart. He could never forget it in his life. That. What is it? Wang Lin's gaze fell on the statue once more. This second time was different than before. The seemingly ordinary statue seemed to have changed and gave off an indescribable sense of majesty. This majesty could make any cultivator before it feel like an ant. Even the world had to yield. Wang Lin even had a vague feeling that even third-step cultivators would tremble before the statue. Who the hell is he? Wang Lin silently pondered. Out of all the statues he had seen in his life, only Qing Lin's statue in the demon spirit land could break down one's mind. Although this statue didn't dismantle one's mind, Wang Lin had a vague feeling that Qing Lin's statue was like an ant before this statue. The statue was only an ordinary middle-aged man. The man was looking up with a calm expression. There was no emotion being shown. Where did you obtain this statue? Wang Lin was still looking at the statue and not at Greed when he spoke. As he spoke, he waved his hand which loosened the stop spell on Greed so he could speak. Greed silently pondered for a moment before letting out a sigh and saying, in an ancient tomb. In order to enter the ancient star system, you have to break the ceiling realm formation, which is impossible with your cultivation level. How did you get here? Wang Lin's voice was cold and it invaded Greed's mind, causing Greed's body to tremble. It was also that ancient tomb. All of my treasures were obtained in that ancient tomb. Greed gave up resisting. He understood that if he told the truth, he might have a chance of survival. He knew that the person before him was a monster and would never show mercy. If he aroused Wang Lin's suspicion and Wang Lin used soul search, then even if he didn't die, he would lose his sanity. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he looked at Greed and slowly said, "What tomb? Explain in detail, don't force me to search your soul." Greed didn't dare to conceal anything and quickly spoke. After escaping from the Moongazer serpent, I didn't die but hid on a half-abandoned planet in all heaven. I was hiding from you and spent time recovering. After a long time, I didn't see you chasing after me. I realized you probably thought I was dead. I felt a peace of mind and focused on recovering on that planet until I was completely recovered. Then I decided to leave. At that time, you were no longer in all heaven. The entire all heaven star system was extremely empty as a majority of the cultivators had gone to the Alliance star system for the war. This gave me an opportunity. I was safe along the way and I didn't want to return to the Alliance star system. Also, because I was devoured by the Moongazer, a stench had latched onto my body and origin soul. The smell lingered and it was unbearable. Thus, I traveled across the stars, looking for a way to get rid of this stench from my body. Days and nights passed until one day I approached the barrier to the lightning celestial realm. There, I found a strange vortex. That vortex appeared very suddenly as if it had purposely appeared before me. I didn't find it very strange. I've encountered even stranger things in my life. Like back when I was at the core formation stage, I faced an enemy I was no match for and the furnace fell from the sky, smashing my enemy to death. Wang Lin frowned and said, "Stay on point." Greed's body trembled and he quickly said, "After the vortex appeared, I had a powerful feeling in my mind. I had never felt a feeling this strong before. Not when the furnace fell from the sky and killing my enemy, or when I saw the Moongazer serpent." Just as he said this, he saw Wang Lin frown. His mind felt cold and he stopped wasting time. I didn't hesitate to rush into the vortex. Just as I entered it, the vortex disappeared. The vortex had appeared for no more than 3 breaths of time. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and then gradually became cold. He stared at Greed and slowly said, "It sounds like the vortex was opened specifically for you." Greed's expression changed and quickly said, "I'm not lying, everything I said is true. I know you don't believe me, but it's the truth, and it's not the only time it happened to me. When I was 8, just playing in the village, I was able to find yellow essence. I fell off a cliff and found a vermilion fruit and obtained the ancient thunder dragon. The furnace fell from the sky and killed my enemy. Others need to fight for the rain furnace, but I was just flying outside and the rain furnace flew to me. Upon entering the celestial realm, others spend a lot of time carefully looking for celestial jades but find few. When I went there for the first time, I was teleported into the cave of a celestial king. There was also an ancient inheritance from the Alliance that was difficult for others to find the entrance to. I walked 3 steps and was teleported inside. Greed was afraid Wang Lin wouldn't believe him. If it was all a lie, it wouldn't matter, but Greed knew that everything he had said was true. Sometimes even he found it unbelievable. Wang Lin interrupted Greed's explanation and slowly said, "Continue. What did you see after entering the vortex?" The vortex seemed to be another world. It was extremely chaotic and filled with spatial cracks. Just one step meant certain doom. There were countless pieces of floating boulders, and the depths were surrounded by fog, so I couldn't get a clear look. I couldn't find an exit there and was locked there for hundreds of years. The death aura there was extremely strong, and from my observation, I figured that place should be a tomb. I even saw a giant head on a boulder. This head was about 1,000 feet large and extremely ferocious. It had stars between its eyebrows. I found the Emperor furnace there. There was still incense smoke burning as if it was worshipping. As I went deeper, I found even more heads. These heads all gave off powerful resentment and reluctance. Some of them had a single horn or 2 horns. Some of them had treasures before them. As Greed recalled this, there was a hint of fear in his eyes. Aside from the statue and the ancient wood spirit, I obtained all my treasures from those heads. However, in the 100 years I was there, I only carefully moved around the other edge. I didn't dare to move to the inner region, so I didn't know what's there. Until one day, while I was moving between two boulders, I encountered a large amount of spatial cracks. With my cultivation level, I would have without a doubt died, so I could only retreat and enter into the depths of that place. When I arrived at the edge of the inner realm, I heard mournful roar coming from all directions. This made my body tremble, a tremble from the soul. I didn't dare to carelessly move from there. It wasn't until a few years later that I had the guts to move. I wanted to leave and return to the outer edge. I had a feeling that the inner part wasn't somewhere I could go and I would die. However, just as I wanted to leave, I was hit by a storm and was seriously injured before passing out. When I woke up, I was beside a large, withered forest. The forest was so big, I couldn't see the end. Even my divine sense couldn't cover the area. All the trees had withered and died, there was not a single leaf. I carefully moved through there in fear, and after unknown amount of years, I saw one tree that hadn't completely withered, and it had a single, yellow leaf. This was the first leaf I had seen there. The leaf was later taken by me. I also put the tree that hadn't completely withered into my bag of holding. I don't know where the forest was located in this mysterious place, and I could only move forward. It felt like hundreds and thousands of years had passed. The more I walked forward, the more serious the withering was. At the end, the trees would turn to ashes the moment I touched them. One day, I arrived at the center of the forest. I believe that's where the center should be. I saw a statue, and at the moment, I had a feeling that it was due to this statue that this boundless forest was withering. I felt that the statue was a treasure. The moment I picked it up, a vortex appeared. It was the same vortex that had brought me there. I was ecstatic and rushed into the vortex. After I came out, I was in a foreign star system. Later, I learned that I had come to the outer realm. After Greed finished speaking, he looked at Wang Lin. Wang Lin frowned and began to ponder. There was a flash in Greed's eyes. Halfway through his story, he found that his body was no longer frozen. The stop spell seemed to have expired. At this moment, seeing that Wang Lin was pondering, Greed was extremely nervous and slowly retreated before suddenly speeding up. Just as he was about to escape, Wang Lin raised his right hand and casually reached out. In an instant, Greed let out a miserable scream as he was caught by an invisible hand and was pulled back toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin's palm nearly touched Greed's forehead and a mysterious suction force came from his palm and clearly entered Greed's head. Fear washed over Greed and he screamed, "You promised not to kill me." Just as he screamed, Wang Lin's right hand landed on Greed's forehead. His divine sense rushed into Greed's origin soul and swept Greed's memory. At the same time, along with Wang Lin's powerful divine sense, thunder rumbled and gathered in his right hand. The thunder went into Greed's origin soul and cleansed his origin soul. Greed's body trembled, and in a moment, sweat covered his whole body. This only took an instant, then Wang Lin waved his right hand, throwing Greed far away. "I won't take your treasures for nothing. You can go." Greed's face was pale as he bit the tip of his lip and spat out blood. His speed increased greatly and he flew away. In the blink of an eye, not a trace of him remained. Greed's eyes were filled with lingering fear from escaping death and feeling wronged. "This is the second time I had all my treasures taken by him. I swear I'll never let it happen a third time. Most of my treasure have been taken, so staying in the fallen land is too dangerous. I must quickly return to my cave to take what's left and leave." Greed felt wronged, and after teleporting countless times to make sure Wang Lin wasn't following him, he disappeared. When he reappeared, he was on Cultivation Planet. The moment he reappeared, he charged at a mountain and waved his hand when he arrived at the outer edge. The mountain rumbled and a thin crack opened. Greed didn't hesitate to enter, but the moment he entered, his body trembled. A foul smell came out from the crack and rushed into his face. It was so bad that he almost passed out. "Why does it stink so much?" Greed cursed, and his body suddenly trembled. He was frozen for a moment before he pinched his nose. After smelling carefully again, disbelief filled his eyes. The stench from my body is gone, even my sense of smell has been restored. I couldn't smell the stench of this cave before. Greed's eyes were filled with joy. During these hundreds of years, he had spent a lot of effort to resolve the stench from his body. After meeting Wang Lin and losing the chance to obtain the ancient scorpion corpse, he despaired. However, now the stench had unexpectedly disappeared on its own. I won't take your treasures for nothing, you can go. Greed remembered Wang Lin's words before he left, and he revealed a complicated expression. After letting Greed go, Wang Lin had turned around and returned to the Dark Scorpion clan. Greed had come out of the inner realm before him and had collected all these treasures for him. After obtaining all of Greed's hard-earned treasures, and adding the joy of meeting someone from home, how could Wang Lin be willing to kill him? That Greed is my lucky star. I can't kill him, I must let him go. I'm looking forward to our third meeting. He will probably have more treasures to give me. Wang Lin smiled as he appeared above the Dark Scorpion clan's planet. The nearly 1,000 cultivators from the Cloud Escape clan hadn't dared to leave and were still waiting there. Zhong Big Red had become spirited and picked a few cultivators with high cultivation levels to heal him. He laid there and continued to let out cold snorts. Every time he let out a cold snort, the surrounding cultivators would tremble. They looked at Zhong Big Red with respect. They weren't afraid of Zhong Big Red, but of the master behind him. The expression of their patriarch after seeing the jade token made them realize that they had provoked someone they shouldn't and that a calamity was coming. The Dark Scorpion clan members that were dispersed were respectfully escorted back one by one. Pills were taken out to help them recover. Even the old man named Zhong was brought back. There were 2 female Cloud Escape cultivators rubbing Zhong Big Red's shoulders. He felt very comfortable and arrogantly said, I already told you all long ago. This old man clearly told all of you, but you all won't believe me. What's the use of keeping your eyes? It's not this old man looking down upon you, but with your cultivation levels, not to mention my master, even I don't consider you all a threat. Just one slap is enough to crush you all like ants. Zhong Big Red raised his chin and scolded them with disdain. The surrounding Cloud Escape cultivators all nodded in agreement. Even those that were haughty didn't dare to refute when their entire clan was facing destruction. The Cloud Escape patriarch and elders respectfully stood beside Zhong Big Red. They all had flattering smiles and continued to nod. Lord, please forgive us. I really didn't know Lord's identity. I hope Lord will say good things about us, and afterward, I'll send you a generous gift. The Cloud Escape patriarch felt bitterness in his heart. His cultivation level was clearly much higher. He could kill Zhong Big Red with one finger, but now he had to carefully serve this person. Zhong Big Red was very comfortable from the female cultivators massaging him. He let out a snort and proudly said, Since you realize your mistake, I should give you a chance to repent, but... The Cloud Escape patriarch quickly took a few steps forward and waved his right hand to take out a jade bottle. His heart ached, but he clenched his teeth and offered it up. Just a little gift, I hope Lord accepts it. Zhong Big Red picked it up and looked at it. Joy appeared in his eyes as he put it away and coughed. This old man will try. Just at this moment, ripples spread in the sky and Wang Lin walked out. The moment he walked out, Zhong Big Red's expression changed and he suddenly stood up. He was afraid he was too slow and pushed aside the female cultivators behind him, then a flattering expression appeared on his face. Welcome, Master, on your triumphant return. Master, Big Red hasn't seen you in such a long time that I felt lost. Even when I cultivate, I can't calm down unless I recite Master's name 100 times. Even then it can't compare to how much this little one missed Master. Only after seeing Master and being next to Master can this little one feel calm. Zhong Big Red quickly moved forward and used his invincible art. At the same time, he was very careful to not exaggerate too much and make Wang Lin mad. At this moment, the arrogance he showed before the Cloud Escape clan was gone and now he was constantly flattering. This was the first time the Cloud Escape cultivators had encountered something like this and were gobsmacked. Even the Cloud Escape patriarch, who had just sent out the gift, was stunned. He couldn't imagine how someone could change so drastically in an instant. Quickly, make way. Why are you standing there? Don't block my master. Zhong Big Red rushed toward Wang Lin and pushed away the escaped Cloud Clan cultivators, including the Patriarch. It was as if he had completely forgotten about the joy after receiving the gift. This video will end here.